Hi everyone. Welcome to the Online Technical Institute. In these sessions, I would like to explain about null cases. Okay. So let's connect to our database. Batch 6 connected. Okay. So let me connect master database. Okay. So I have connected the master database. Okay. So let's go to go to the databases, system databases, system databases. It is expanding. Just wait for a few seconds. Okay, yeah, it is expanded. Let's connect to the master database. So yeah, so here master database we connected. So I will explain later if required. So meanwhile, let's discuss about all these cases. Okay, so ISNULL means for replacing the null cases records. Then we have to use ISNULL COALESCE functions. NULLIF means like a comparison related. So if you want to comparison the argument 1, argument 2, so in that scenario we have to use NULLIF functions. So if null also again replacing the records only null cases places. Okay, so null cases filtering. So all these things which we are going to learn in these sessions. So let me explain about ISNULL function. So for that, I will create the one record, select, let me create the any record, null cases, right? We are discussing about null cases. Let me create only null record. As you can see here, I have created the null value under this column, no column name. In case if you want to name the column name, so we have to use as word, as means alias. So if you wanted to give any nicknames, okay, so then we have to use as word, as means alias. Then I want to give the column name. So that column name is like we are discussing about null cases, right? So null column, whatever column you name, you can mention, not an issue. Okay. So I want to replace. So instead of null place, I want to mention other record. So example is null. Let me use this function. So instead of this null record places, I want to mention as a name. Let me take any name, Rajesh or Suresh, whatever name you require, you can mention. Let me take this name. Let me check. Now, as you can see here, I have replaced the record instead of null place. So like this, if you want to replace the any records, you can replace it by using the ISNULL function only. Let me show you another example. Select null, and let me create this record again. So again, this null places, I want to replace the value. Let me use again ISNULL of, and this null places I want to mention. Let me replace any name, alias name I want to mention. Let me check. Now as you can see here, alias record resolved instead of null places. Okay, cool. Let me show you another scenario. Let me take null places. So of course, obviously it will create null record. Okay, so in this null places, let me replace the numerical related. So in this place, I want to mention 1, 2, 3, 4, something, etc., etc. Let me take 1, 2, 3 record, select and execute it. Now as you can see here, 1, 2, 3 record, which I have replaced it instead of null place. Okay, so like this, if you wanted to replace any records, they null places records, then we have to use ISNULL function only in SQL environment. Okay, so sorry, let me copy and paste here. So we discussed about ISNULL. Let me explain about COALESCE function as well. So this one also same only. In case in all cases places, in case if you want to replace any records, then we have to use COALESCE function only. Let me show you null places. So I have created the null record. Let me replace same Rajesh name only instead of null places. So again, we have to use COALESCE of. So in these null places, I want to mention Rajesh name. Okay, let me select and execute it. Now as you can see here, Rajesh record, which I have replaced. Okay, so let me show you second example as well. So in these null places, I want to mention as a alias. Obviously, it can replace the record as you can see here, alias record, which I have received. Okay, let me check third scenario, that is numerical related. So instead of null record, I want to mention as a 1, 2, 3. Let me check. Execute it. Now, as you can see, I have replaced the 1, 2, 3 record. So both are will give the same results only. ISNULL and COALESCE functions. Okay, but one difference is it is having these COALESCE functions, that is select null record. So I want to create multiple null cases. So 3 columns I have created. Let me show you. Now, as you can see, first column, second column, third column. So all the columns I have taken null cases only. So all this at a time I want to replace. So all these null cases, so I want to mention as a something record. So in that scenario, this COALESCE function very useful. Let me show you. Let me take and let me apply the COALESCE function of, so all these null cases. So first column, second column, third column, all the 3 columns null cases are available. In that scenario, I want to mention as a, let me take any name. Now this time, Johnny or something. So this record I want to mention. Let me check. Now, as you can see here, so all the null cases, first column, second column, third column, all the cases, like all the columns, null cases are available. In that scenario only, John record will get, else we won't get. So else means like, let me show you. For example, in this record, name is there, okay, like a Ramesh. So it won't replace this record. We can get the Ramesh record only. Let me show you. Now, as you can see here, Ramesh record. But my intention is I want to replace with this record in case all the cases, null cases are available. So anywhere in these 3 columns, anywhere, any record it is available, it won't replace this record. Okay. So all the cases, null cases are only available. In that scenario only, this record can be replaced. Else won't. So whatever record it is available, that record only it can fetch here. Okay. So what I've tried to explain, let me show you second scenario. So this record, let me mention here null value. Okay. So let me mention the here that record, Ramesh record. So what is the result we can get it in the output? So obviously Ramesh only, because this time first instance it is available, that record, Ramesh record. So we won't get this record, John record, as you can see here. Okay. So if you want to replace this record instead of null cases, then what we can do, let me mention the null. So in this scenario only, we can get the this record, John record. Now, as you can see, John record. Why? Because so first column, second column, third column, all the null cases are available. So all the columns, if it is available, all the means nothing but in this scenario, 3 columns available null cases. Then only it will replace. So anywhere record it is available, then it won't get this one. Okay. So hope you guys clear these concepts clearly. Okay. So this is about null, COALESCE function only. So both are similar only. Agenda will give the results, but only one extra features having COALESCE function, that is multiple columns. So if you want to mention the multiple columns, all cases are like all the columns, null cases are available. In that scenario, if you want to replace any record, then we have to, this is a better option, COALESCE function. So instead of COALESCE functions, if you want to try ISNULL functions, it won't work. So multiple columns not applicable. So let me show you. ISNULL. That's it. Let me check. As you can see here, so ISNULL functions requires only 2 arguments. So for this, like first argument, second argument. That's it. So if you mention more arguments, like more than 2 arguments, so it won't work. ISNULL functions, like if 1 argument, 2, 3, 4 arguments are there, so it won't work. This ISNULL functions. So coming to the COALESCE functions, you can mention n number of arguments. Okay. In case of 4 arguments, 5 arguments, 6 arguments, if you wanted to mention, you can mention. Not an issue. Absolutely, it will work. So hope you guys clear these concepts. So this is, I want to see error part in this area. That's why I have taken these ISNULL functions, because I want to test it, this function, whether it is working like COALESCE function or not. Okay. Now coming to the, let me write it, error. Now coming to the NULLIF functions. NULLIF functions means, let me create the 2 arguments, 4, 4. So 2 columns which I'm going to create. Okay. So first expression, second expression means this one I can say, I can call it first expression, second expression. So both our expressions are equal. Then we will get the result as a null only. Let me show you. NULLIF 4 comma 4. So what is the result? What is the output we can get it if we use like this null function, as you can see here. Okay. So if both are same values, then we can get the null value. If not, both are not same values. In that scenario, for example, in this case 5, in this case 4. So what is the result we can get it in the output? So both are not same, right? 5 are not equal to 4. So in this scenario, we can get the first result only. What is the first expression value? That is 5. Now as you can see. Okay, let me show you another example. Let me take vice versa, 4 comma 5. So in this scenario, what is the result we can get it? So 4 only. Why? Because 4 not equal to 5, right? So in this scenario, so both are not same values. So in this scenario, we can get the first expression value. What is the first expression value in this? 4 only, right? So let me show you. Now as you can see here, first expression value, which I have received 4 only. Okay. So if you want to see the definition, I will show you definition as well. So NULLIF functions. So this is the syntax, sample syntax. NULLIF expression 1 and expression 2 means expression 1 and expression 2. So these NULLIF functions compares two expressions. Compares two expressions means expression 1 and expression 2. If they are equal, it returns null only. So if they are equal, let me execute it. Now as you can see here, we will get the result null only. So it returns, if they are equal, it returns null. Otherwise, it returns the first expression value. First expression value means this one, right? If not equal to, then in the result we can result window we can get the first expression value. In this case, what is the first expression value? 5, right? So that 5 value which we receive. Now coming to the second example as well. So in this both are not equal, right? So in this scenario also, what is the first expression value? 4. So we can get the first 4 only. Okay. So like this we can use. So we can get the results as well. Okay. Now last but not least, that is if null. So if null means this one also like we can use for replacing the records only. So what I will do, let me open the Google. I will explain there. So let me open the in Google. So what I will do, so if null functions not working in SQL Server Management Studio. So what I will do, let me open the Oracle or MySQL. So just click on this one compiler. Okay. See, as you can see here, we have so many languages which we can learn in this platform. Okay. So let me connect to the MySQL. Okay. It is loading the code. Just a minute. So we can receive the sample code. So let me erase it. So we are discussing about NULLIF functions, right? So select, let me take the 1 comma 0. So if null. So what is the result? We can get it. Let me test it. Select and run it. Now, as you can see here, what is the result? We can get it. 1 value. What is the first expression value? 1. So there is no any null cases, right? So 1 comma 0 it is there. Values are there. There is no any null record. So let me take second scenario, null cases. Let me comment it. So second scenario, let me take the null comma. Let me take the any name. So let me take the default value. So instead of null places, I want to mention as this record, default record. Select and execute it. Now as you can see here, it has replaced successfully. So here null cases are available. Instead of null cases, received default record only. Okay. Let me show you that scenario as well. Let me comment it, this one as well. And let me show you that scenario. Just a minute. What? In case this is a blank record, right? So this blank record, I want to mention as some other record. Let me take Rajesh or Suresh, whatever name. Okay. Let me check whether I'm able to replace or not these blank places. So as you can see here, result blank records only because it won't replace. Okay. So in case instead of these null places, let me show you. Instead of blank record, let me mention this record. Okay. So let me select and run it. Now, as you can see here, so here we receive the two outputs. Let me comment it, this one. Let me comment it, this one, select this one, and execute it. Now, as you can see here, instead of these null places, I have received the Rajesh record. So like this, if you want to replace the only null cases, then it is, we have to use if null function as well. So this is working in MySQL language. It won't work SQL Server Management Studio. That's why I have explained in this open Google and connected MySQL Server, and I have explained. Okay, so all the functions not working in SQL Server Management Studio. Some functions working, some functions not working. That's why these functions I have showed in MySQL environment. Okay, so cool guys. So this is if null function only. So if null function also, it will replace the only null cases. Okay, so let me show you a real-time scenario how we are working. Real-time scenarios. Okay, so if we have any tables, we can load it and we can practice it. Any null cases are available. So what I will do, I will create the tables, null cases related. Then I will explain. So let me create the table. Create table. So let me explain about real-time scenarios. Okay. So in this real-time scenario, I have created this table. In case if you have any created tables, null cases related table, you can take it and you can practice it. So for time being, I'm creating this table. Okay. So let me create the tables and execute it. So already this table is available like a employee 2. So what I will do, let me delete that table, drop, or else let's use our database, use online tech database. Okay, execute it. Now, as you can see here, I have connected the online tech database. So let me store in this online tech database. So here also it is available. So let me delete it, this table name. How can we delete it? So we have to use drop table, and we have to mention that table name. So we can delete it, that table. Okay. Now let me recreate this table again. Okay, created the table. Let me insert these records. Okay. So now let me extract the records from the employee to table. Select from employee to table. Okay, select and run it. Now, as you can see here, we have also the records. Okay, so employee to like this. Okay, now as you can see here null cases are also available. Here null cases available. Here null cases are available. So let me replace the records. Let me mention here. So null is null, right? Let me show you. First example is null. So by using the is null functions, let me take any particular column. Let me take first column. So real-time scenario, I'm explaining how we are applying all these functions. Okay. So first name, right? So under this first name, so these are null cases are available, two null cases. So in these null places, I want to mention as a, like, let me take the name. Okay, let me take the alias record, which I want to mention. Let me check whether I'm able to get. So let me take all the columns names as well. Stop. Okay, that's it. Now let me test it. So this is the first original column. So this is the modified column. As you can see here. So Clark, Dave, Ava. So these are the records as it is visually stored. So in this null cases places, I have to use the alias record only. So like this, if you want to replace the any null cases, any column, then we have to use is null function only. Similarly, we have to apply if null function as well. So this function also we can apply. So it will work. But here in this environmental, it is not working, this one. if null functions in this environmental not working. Okay, so you can try MySQL environmental. Just I have explained, right? Opened in Google onecompiler.com. So MySQL. So like that. So you can try. So in that environmental, it will work. You can try. Okay, this is I'm giving the homework for you. Okay. So now coming to the second scenario. So COALESCE functions, right? Let me show you that function as well. So this is about ISNULL functions. Now let me try to explain about COALESCE function. Okay. So just we have to mention COALESCE function. Okay. That's it. Let me take this time. Let me take middle column. Middle, sorry, middle name. So that's it. Only middle name I want to replace with this record. So how many records are there? Null cases 1, 2, 3, 4 are there. So these 4 null cases places I want to mention as a alias record only. Let me check whether I'm able to get or not. So this is the original column. Here, as you can see, modified column. So here, null alias reset. In these null places, alias record reset. In these null places, alias record. In these null places, alias record, which we reset. Okay. So this here record it is available. That's why it is fetching as it is. Okay. So like this, if you want to apply the COALESCE functions, we can apply. So one more function, like a functionality which we have, that is COALESCE functions. Let me show you. So if you wanted to change at a time first name, middle name, and last name as well. So here, if you observe first name, middle name, last name. So all the cases, null cases are available. In that place, I want to replace with this record. Let me show. Let me change the this time John record. Okay, John record it is available. So first name, middle name, last name. So first name, middle name, last name. So all the cases, null cases are available. In that scenario only, we can it can get replaced this one. Okay, so here null, here null, here null, it is available. So obviously it can replace the record. Okay, now coming to the here null it is available. So here there is no null record, so it won't replace this one. Now coming to the this one. So here also two places null record is available, so it won't replace. So only when it is possible, this one means only all the cases like 3 columns available null cases. In that scenario only, it can replace the record, or else it won't replace. Let me show you. So first name, middle name, last name. So in this scenario, so where it is available, which row available, all the null cases, last column, right? So if you observe here, not last column, last row. So fifth row. So null, null, null. So only this record can replace. Sorry, we have reset the error. What is the error? Invalid column name, first name. Acha, first name, it is available underscore. Okay. Now let me try. Yeah. Now as you can see here, these are the original columns. These are the modified columns. If you observe here, last column, John record. Here, Clark, it is available. Here, record, it is available. In these 3 columns, first record, it is available. That's why it is fetching as it is. So here also, DAV, and here also, first and last columns are available records. So middle not available. So anywhere record it is available, it will fetch that record. So first record only it is fetching. Now coming to the here, in this scenario, 2 columns are available records. So as it is fetching. So coming to the second one, last column it is available, as it is fetching. Last row only. So null, null, null available. So if all the scenarios, all the columns, null is available, then only it will replace. So that's why it is replaced with this record instead of null cases. Okay. So hope you guys clear this concept as well. So like this. So if you wanted to replace the null cases places any records, then we have to use ISNULL or COALESCE functions. Okay, so here we can use like this as well, ISNULL function, but extra feature which we have, that is multiple columns. If you want to change at a time, we have to use COALESCE function as well. Okay, and let me show you last one, that is NULLIF function. So for this one, let me take the perfect example. So NULLIF functions, let me create this table. Okay, budget table, which I'm going to create. Okay. Let me create the table. So this table also already available. Let me delete this table. Drop table. And if you want to delete any tables, then we have to use drop command, and we can delete it from the databases. As you can see here, comments successfully. Let me recreate this table again. Here, department, current year, previous year's values, columns, which I'm going to take. So let me insert the records as well. Okay. So if you wanted to retrieve the records, just we have to use select star from what is the table name? Budgets table, right? Let me use it to budgets table and execute it. Now, as you can see here, department, current year, previous year. Let me test it. This function. What is the function? NULLIF functions, right? So what is the NULLIF functions? Like expression 1, expression 2, both are equal. Then we will get the null value in the result window. Let me test it. Star NULLIF. So what is the first expression value? Let me take current year. So current year, if it equal to 0, then we can get the null. Else we can get the first expression value. So what I'm trying to explain, let me show you. So these are the three columns, original columns. These are the modified columns. Just now I have modified. So what I have given the conditions, NULLIF conditions. So current year equal to 0. So in the result window, we can get the null only. Else we can get the first expression value. What is the first expression value? So these are the first expression value. So 1 lakh equal to 0? No. So in this scenario, we can get the 1 lakh only. That is first expression value. Now coming to the second scenario. So 0 equal to 0, right? So what is the result? We can get it null. So hope you guys cleared. So like this, if it is equal, we can get the null. If not, so we can get the first expression value. So like this, we can apply the in real-time scenario as well. So these are the real-time scenario, which I'm going to explain. Okay. So let me show you. In case if you want to find out the average related calculations. So already we have received the first expression value, right? So on top of this, if you want to find out the average or some calculation part, so we have to use functions as well, like a aggregator functions, right? So average, min, max, count, sum. So if you want to apply, you can apply it. Let's see. Sorry, it is not working, right? Why it is not working? Average functions. Average of column budgets departments is invalid. Budgets dot department is invalid as a subject because it is rupee. Okay. So what I will do, let me remove for time being this star. Now let me test it because so in case if we used average functions, then we have to apply the group of functions. So that's why in case single column not required. So that's why I have removed the star. Let me test it. Now as you can see here, so how many earlier what is the record we received? So only 1 lakh. So another record is null record. So 1 lakh divided by 1. So obviously 1 lakh. So this is the result we can get it. In case if you want to find out the any calculations based on the first expression values. So then we have to apply the average function as well. So hope you guys. So like this, we have to apply the real-time scenario functions as well. So last but not least, null cases, right? Let me try to cover here. So null cases related filtering. For example, let me take the select star from employees to table. So here null cases are available, right? So let me show you. So if you wanted to filter the any null cases, for example, first column or middle column, last name, last column, null cases are available. Let me filter the records. How can we filter it? Where statement. So let me take the first name. So in these columns, if you wanted to filter the only null cases, sorry, use null. That's it. Let me select it and execute it. Now, as you can see here, only two records are available, right? First column. So we have those two records only. So if you wanted to filter, let me test it another column as well. So if you wanted to filter the last name, or you can filter it middle name or last name. Let me test it last name. Last name. So how many records are there? Null cases, 1, 2, 3 records are there. So these 3 records which I'm going to filter by using this query. Now as you can see here, 3 cases which we resolve. So any particular column, if you want to filter the only null cases, then this is the syntax which we can use. Okay, so a very useful comments. Okay, this is the real-time scenario which I'm going to explain. So real-time also we can put the filters like this only. Okay, so apart from filter, like in all cases, if you wanted to filter the records, okay, is not, we have to apply. So if you require, you don't require null cases filters, you require the filter records, like apart from null cases, if you want to filter the records. So in that scenario, we have to use is not null. So apart from these three records, which we can get the records as well. So as you can see here, two records apart from null records. Okay, like this, if you wanted to filter the null cases, not null cases, then we have to filter like this as well. Okay, so hope you guys have cleared all these concepts. Okay, hope you understood. So if you have any doubts, let me know in the comment sections. So I will be covering in the upcoming classes as well. Okay, so in these sessions, let me summarize it quickly. So is null replacing the null cases, COALESCE functions also replacing the null cases. So here multiple columns we can apply. So NULLIF functions like a expression one or expression two both are equal, we can get the null result. Else we can get the first expression value. If null, again replacing the null cases only. Okay. So coming replacing the null records, null cases records, then we have to use if null function only. Null cases filtering. Just I have explained, like if you want to filter the only null cases apart from null cases records, if you want to filter, then we have to apply like this. Okay, so enough guys. So yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for updates. We will see in the next video. Until then, bye bye. Take care.